Hello, everybody. This is Steven Dutzman. I am the editor-in-chief of EngageFamilyGaming.com, and I am also the host of Engage, a Family Gaming podcast, and Engaged and the EFG Evening News Update. Today is the Evening News Update for June 7th of 2016. We are 1 week away from E3, and the giant stack of news that I have to report on is piece of evidence number one. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Throw it right out here. It is 7-ish Eastern time. I was stuck in traffic, and so we're here. But I made a commitment to my viewing public that I would give an update. So here's everything that's happened. There are a ton of items, and the reason for that is the week before E3, usually somewhat of a drought from news. However, there are a lot of leaks. So here we go. First, Worlds of Final Fantasy. We talked about this on the website last year. This was announced at E3. And what it is it is a Final Fantasy game where you play as chibi versions of various Final Fantasy characters. It kind of bridges two different worlds, one that is super chibi, where everybody's like a little square, and a more realistic kind of Kingdom Hearts style game. It is intended to celebrate the history of Final Fantasy by featuring Final Fantasy characters from games that adults, people my age, etc., would remember from their childhood, while also being more accessible and cute, etc., so that it's really intended for families to play together. Clearly, they are trying to make a new generation of Final Fantasy fans. I'm a big fan of that. So are my kids, and we have a release date. That game is coming out on October 25th of 2016 for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita. So that's Worlds of Final Fantasy. The very idea of playing a Final Fantasy game that's specifically designed to be played with my children is very exciting. They're very excited for it. I just came in, told them the news. They got very happy. So we'll be talking more about that. Hopefully, I'm guessing that we're going to see a little bit more of that at the Sony press conference, seeing as it is a Sony exclusive. Maybe we'll see some gameplay. One of the big game mechanics for this one is that, at least in the chibi world, you make like stacks, like totems, out of various classic Final Fantasy characters and monsters. I have no idea how that works, so we'll have to find out. So that's Worlds of Final Fantasy. We're going to talk more about that later. Next, Horizon Zero Dawn. This is on the list as one of my most anticipated games for the year. Looks like it was going to be a T-rated romp through a post-apocalyptic future with robot dinosaurs and like Merida, basically. I describe it colloquially as Merida fighting Grimlock. And that seems like a pretty awesome game to me. So originally it was announced and was slated to be released within the calendar year 2016. Guerrilla Games, the developer, did a post on the PlayStation blog confirming that they needed more time in order to realize their vision. And so as a result, it has been announced for February 28th of 2017, which, as far as I'm concerned, is perfectly acceptable. Take all the time you want. This is a new game. It's not like there are not plenty of other games for us to play. So that is news item number 2. That's Horizon Zero Dawn. Second, there is a leak of a certain DC fighting game. Many of you may remember Injustice, Gods Among Us, which was made by the same company that does Mortal Kombat. That's NetherRealm Studios. And it looks like they're going into a nice cadence. They make a Mortal Kombat game, they make an Injustice game, and back and forth. So here we are, the leak for Injustice 2. This looks like there were some promotional materials sent out to various GameStops, announcing pre-orders, and some people took some pictures and posted them on Reddit, etc. because that's how everything gets leaked. So that's very exciting. NetherRealm makes great games. I think Injustice was a very fun fighting game. There's actually a review up on our website. The issue that I had with it is that it just felt like it needed a little bit more. And usually a sequel will do that. So here we go. So that is number 3. Number 4. Any fans of Minecraft Story Mode out there? I know there's a few in our Facebook community. You can get there by going to engagefamilygaming.com/community, and you'll see some of the people. You can definitely talk to some parents or kid-friendly gamers who have enjoyed Minecraft Story Mode so far. It was originally announced as a 5-part series, very similar to a lot of the other Telltale adventure games. They have announced a 3-part add-on series, and episode 6, which is essentially episode 1 of this 3 more videos, 3 more episodes rather, came out today. Which is very cool. Episode 6, A Portal to Mystery. Now, what's interesting about this game, I actually showed the cover art to my son, our oldest, and he said, "Dad, why is Dan the Diamond Minecart in there?" Now, I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. Who's Dan the Diamond Minecart? Well, he looked at me like I had 2 heads. Like, how could I not know Dan the Diamond Minecart, or Dan TDM, is a famous Minecraft YouTuber. And apparently he is in this game somehow. We'll be reporting back, probably on the podcast, talking about that. That's pretty interesting that they're getting Minecraft YouTubers in on the action. So that is a thing. So that is number 4. Hey, Stacy, how you doing? Nice to have you aboard for the live news. We're actually talking about something that I know you were excited about because we talked about it on the podcast next. Next is Batman by Telltale Games, which is coming this summer, as confirmed by one of the leads at Telltale over on his Twitter account. So Batman coming this summer. One thing that is worth noting, and one thing that we will talk about quite frequently when the game launches, is that Batman is rated M. Big capital M. So this is a game that you will not be playing with your children. It's going to be it's going to be themed visually after the movies. So it's going to be intense. You're going to be playing a lot more as Bruce Wayne. It's going to focus more on him and his relationships with the various characters. I am excited to play it. With that said, as we see the sun coming out from behind the clouds, it's been thundering out here. So it's going to be focusing a lot more on his relationships between Bruce Wayne and various characters in town, in Gotham City. So that's actually a pretty interesting take. I know some comics have done that, but this will be the first time we'll be able to do it interactively. So there you go. Batman coming out this summer, but you're going to want to play it after the kids go to bed. At the very least, give it a first playthrough to determine whether or not it features content that you don't want your kids seeing. Obviously, if they're familiar with Batman, they kind of know some of those themes anyway. Now, that is number 5. Number 6, this is a big one, and this is really just because I find it I find it very interesting. Next month, on July 15th to July 17th, that is a weekend, a Friday to a Sunday, is EVO 2016. What that is the World Fighting Game Championships. I'll be talking a lot about them in podcasts leading up to it, and we will be I will be live tweeting and probably doing reaction videos like this one, talking about it. I think that watching esports, specifically watching some of these fighting games, is an amazing experience. I do it every year with my kids. And one of the things that's interesting is EVO holds major Smash tournaments. Smash being Super Smash Brothers for Wii U, and also Melee, which is for the GameCube. So these are deep fighting games, and at this point, when played by experts, they're almost unrecognizable from the games that we would play in a party sense. What's interesting now is last year, Smash 4, or Smash for Wii, which is what the fighting game community refers to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Last year it had 1,900 entrants, which is pretty good. Not nearly as many as Ultra Street Fighter 4, which had many more thousands. But this year, there are more than 2,000 signing up to play Super Smash Bros. For Wii U at EVO, which actually what they call that the 2,000 Club, which is a record. It is far surpassed by Street Fighter 5, which as of a month ago had over 5,000 registrants. But still, that's Street Fighter. I mean, who's going to compete with that? Which is very interesting. EVO is going to be a great experience this year. What I'm extra looking forward to is seeing the scale of the grand finals. Historically, the grand finals were played in a ballroom at a hotel. So it was like going to a wedding, only there were a bunch of fighting game fans sitting on the floor watching these guys on a stage. This is going to be at a event center in Las Vegas that has 12,000 seats, like real seats and a real stage. So the production value, I presume, will be much higher. So, and obviously they tend to make really cool fighting game announcements there. And obviously there are a lot of fighting games to make announcements about. So, very excited to see what happens there. I'll probably be watching it, maybe even watching it live on on Facebook Live. So I'd love to have everybody join me. Hopping on into the Facebook group and let me know if you think that would be a good idea, if maybe we should do some kind of Facebook Live party, watching the EVO Grand Finals. I would love every minute of that. So that's the news today for Tuesday, June 7th. Lots of great stuff. Lots of leaks. There were lots of games that were announced or leaked that are not really inside of our demographic. Volition, the people that make Saints Row, have a new game that's on IGN this month on their IGN First program. Watch Dogs 2 is a thing. So more games are getting leaked, but that's going to happen as we get closer. But obviously, this is all about the family stuff, so we're going to talk about only the games that are either automatically family friendly or will trend in that direction just by their, the characters involved, like Batman. So, that's it for tonight. This is probably the longest video I've done so far. I'm really glad for the people that have been sticking around so long. Until tomorrow, play more games with your kids, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.